Recording. Okay. Satvat sanjayate jnanam.
Sattvat sanjayate jnanam.
Rajaso lobha evacha.
Rajaso lobha eva cha.
Pramada moha tamaso.
Pramada mohau tamaso.
Bhavato jnanam evacha.
Bhavato jnanam eva cha.
So translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. From the mode of goodness, real knowledge develops. From the mode of passion, greed develops. And from the mode of ignorance develop foolishness, madness, and illusion. So each one of these mode has a particular kind of effect, right? So from mode of passion, we become very greedy. From mode of ignorance, we develop foolishness. From goodness, real knowledge develops. So real knowledge cannot happen unless we come to the mode of goodness, sattvagunam. Otherwise, our knowledge will be contaminated by so many other thoughts and actions, and maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that. So it will be very confusing to us. So it is very important for everybody to come to mode of goodness. Otherwise, what happens right now, like you see, coronavirus is killing so many people, and stock market is going up. While some people are dying, some people are thinking this is an opportunity to kind of make money, something like that, right? And the fellow who is trading right now, tomorrow he can die if his neighbor catches it and somehow he gets it. But still, people have no idea what they should be doing at this time. When everything is not going well, they should be praying to the Lord. They should be striving to improve their life, spiritual life. But people are not doing that. People are doing something else. They're thinking, this is an opportunity to, make some money, like that. Okay, Nag Prabhu, can you read this?
Right. Since the present civilization is not very congenial to the living entities, Krishna consciousness is recommended. Through Krishna consciousness, society will develop the mode of goodness. When the mode of goodness is developed, people will see things as they are. In the mode of ignorance, people are just like animals and cannot see things clearly. In the mode of ignorance, for example, they do not see that by killing one animal, they are taking the chance of being killed by the same animal in the next life. Because people have no education in actual knowledge, they become irresponsible. To stop this irresponsibility, education for developing the mode of goodness of the people in general must be there. When they are actually educated in the mode of goodness, they will become sober in full knowledge of things as uh, uh,
As they are.
as they are. Then people will be happy and prosperous. Even if the majority of the people aren't happy and prosperous, if a certain percentage of the population develops Krishna consciousness and becomes situated in the mode of goodness, then there is a possibility for peace and prosperity all over the world. Otherwise, if the world is devoted to the mode of passion and ignorance, there can be no peace or prosperity. In the mode of passion, people become greedy, and they are hankering and they are hankering for sense enjoyment has no limit. One can see that even if one has enough money and adequate arrangements for sense gratification, there is neither happiness nor peace of mind. That is not possible because one is situated in the mode of passion. If one wants happiness at all, his money will not help him. He has to elevate himself to the mode of goodness by participating Krishna consciousness. When one is engaged in the mode of passion, not only is he mentally unhappy, but his profession and occupations are also very troublesome. He has to devise so many plans and schemes to acquire enough money to maintain his status quo. This is all miserable. In the mode of ignorance, people become mad, being distressed by their circumstances. They take shelter of intoxication and thus they sink further into ignorance. Their future in life is very dark.
Yeah, so this is very common, right? People will say, okay, my boss did not give me promotion. They'll start drinking and then they'll get into more trouble than where they were before. So people in the mode of ignorance, they'll just keep on going down, down, down. Mode of passion, they will stay at the same level, but they don't show any opportunity to go up. So only by mercy of a devotee, somebody comes and gives this person some knowledge. The person says, okay, I will do it. And they will become serious in devotional life. Then this whole process goes up. Otherwise, it is a very hopeless situation, this mode of ignorance. And mode of passion, when people are in the mode of passion, they're engaged, they're always working hard, this, that, they're mentally unhappy. And profession and occupation are also very troublesome because in order to earn money, you have to work very hard. In order to protect money also, you have to work very hard. And then he has to devise so many plans and schemes to acquire money and maintain his status quo. Right? We have seen the story of Ambanis in India, how the brothers started fighting with each other. We have seen so many stories of people who are in the mode of passion who will do crazy, crazy things like that. So any questions on these three modes? Because this is very important. These three modes define the journey of a soul in this material world. But if somebody wants to get out of this material world, then they have to come to the platform of pure goodness, Shuddha Sattva. From goodness, we have to go to pure
Excuse
goodness.
me, I have one. Like even in the mode of passion, like even for relationships, it's not only the money, but even the relationships also matters, right? Even to protect relationships, also is it the mode of passion or?
Yeah. So that's a very good question. Almost everything in the world is in one of these three modes. Relationships is in these modes. Behavior is in this one of these three modes. Charity, how we give dana, will also be in one of these three modes. So almost everything in this world is in one of these three modes. So I was trying to search last time, but I could not succeed. So let me see if I have a presentation where we have these things. Modes of material nature. I had a presentation at one point, but because of changing laptops and things like that, it could have not, it would have gone somewhere else. Material nature. So many other things are also coming because I put in modes, right? So Chaitanya Mangala, Chaitanya Bhagavat, all these things. Advanced texts are also following these different modes. Mad doesn't mean mad. Mad means Madhya Lila. That is Chaitanya Charitamrita. And real science versus junk science. I know I had it at one point. By the way, I found this thing. We could probably discuss this today too. How we can do things in different theologies.
So Hare Krishna Prabhu is Vasudeva Sattvam, is it the same as the transcendental mode?
Yeah, Vasudeva Sattvam is the same as the, I found this modes of nature. This PowerPoint. Open. Yeah, Vasudeva Sattvam is the mode of transcendental goodness. Not just goodness, but transcendental goodness. When it opens in this one, it doesn't come very well. Let me open it in PowerPoint. Looks like this is not the original presentation. This is more like my notes. That's why these are all in bullet points. Okay, let me go and search for that other one, the modes of material nature. I have so many lectures, so finding things is always going to be a challenge. 3 modes of material nature. This looks like more like a picture. Yeah. So Triguna, the 3 qualities of nature, right? Here, are you able to see this picture clearly? Yeah. So if you see at the bottom, the person who is in the mode of ignorance, they are lazy, underactive, they are disturbed. They are depressed, hateful, and they are destructive. Means they want to break something like that. And then one step higher than that is rajas, or mode of passion. So they are selfish, greedy, obsessive, materialistic, lusty, overactive. And in sattva, in the goodness, like you'll have a lot of places like, the restaurants called sattva, like that, because it's considered to be a good thing. And again, a lot of these terms are there in Buddhism also, because Buddhism is just a branching out from the Vedic tradition. So happiness, being free, being truthful, selfless, wise, enlightened, these are the qualities of sattva guna. And then there is Visuddha Sattva or Vasudeva Sattva, where complete harmony and yogic connection with the divine, the Lord. And this is also our original nature, pure goodness. From pure goodness, at some point or the other, we actually fell down into this material world. And in this material world, we are stuck. So here is one artist rendition. I have other artist rendition also. I'm not finding it because I have way too much stuff. So I'll have to come to that, find it, and then show it to you on one of these days. Let's see what this Sunday feast lecture is, because I also prepare for the temple Sunday feast lecture many of these PowerPoints that Harvilas Maharaj uses. So in that also we use these modes of material nature. So at that point we talked about health effects of energy drinks like Monster, Red Bull, all these things. They may lead to brain hemorrhage. So there was one Sunday speech lecture where we talked about this, right? Caffeine addiction increases the heart rate, causes chest pain, shakes and nausea, like that. So Bhagavad Gita says, Kamesha Krodesha Rajoguna Samudbhava. So Kama leads to Krodha, and that's why, because of Rajoguna. So as early as chapter 3.37, Srila Prabhupada Krishna has already informed us of the dangers of being in Rajoguna. But in this chapter, in chapter 14, he gives a lot more detail, right? So when a living entity comes in contact with material creation, his eternal love for Krishna is transformed into lust in association with the mode of passion. Or in the other words, our love of God becomes transformed into lust, just like milk in contact with sour tamarind or previous yogurt, it becomes transformed into yogurt. Then again, when lust is unsatisfied, it turns into wrath, means anger. Wrath is transformed into illusion, and illusion continues the material existence. Therefore, lust is the greatest enemy of the living entity. We should get rid of our lust. And then there are other things, right? So in chapter 3, this will serve as a revision for those of you who have attended since chapter 3. As fire is covered by smoke, as mirror is covered by dust, or as embryo is covered by the womb, the living entity is similarly covered by different degrees of this lust. So the embryo is there in the womb, right? So the baby cannot do much. It's like there, that's it. So it is fully covered. Then fire is covered by smoke. If you say, oof, the fire goes away. So it is easy to remove that covering. And whereas if there is just dust on your mirror, it's very easy. Take a napkin and wipe it and dust is gone. So clearing the dust is easy from a mirror. Clearing the smoke from the fire is a little bit more difficult. And taking the baby out, delivery, is even more difficult. So this is what Krishna is saying. There are different living entities or atmas that are covered by different degrees of this lust under the influence of mode of passion. Remember we said in 3.37, we are saying the Rajoguna Samudbhavaha, because of the Rajogun. And what happens? That becomes a Mahapapa. Mahasino Mahapapma Vidyena Iha Vairinam. So that Papa is a enemy, Vairi. Vairam means enmity. So it becomes a big enemy to the living entity. So we need to understand how different degrees of lust cover us. So some of us may be like tightly covered by lust. Some of them are loosely covered. Some of them are very lightly covered. So you just can clear it. So especially they say that when the soul is in the human form, we are lightly covered. So it's easy to remove the covering and give them knowledge of the eternality of the soul and how we may get liberated. Whereas in plants, it is very heavily covered. Even if you go to the plant and say, Hare Krishna, the plant will not be able to respond. And then it is somewhat loosely covered in, say, a pet dog or something like that. You can go and, you can teach a pet dog certain things. Even you can teach it, give prasadam every day. And over a period of time, it will be very favorable to devotional activities like that. So there are 3 degrees covering of the living entity by which is pure consciousness is obscured. Obscured means covered. This covering is but lust under different manifestations like smoke in the fire, dust on the mirror, and womb about the embryo. When the lust is compared to smoke, it is understood that the fire of the living spark can be a little perceived. Right? Smoke means you can easily remove the smoke and you can perceive. In other words, when the living entity exhibits his Krishna consciousness slightly, he may be likened to fire covered by smoke. So we are all exhibiting Krishna consciousness in a light way. So it's almost like our Krishna consciousness is covered by smoke. If we persist at it, the smoke will go away and we'll become good souls. I mean, soul is good, but we will remain on that platform. Although fire is necessary when there is smoke, there is no overt manifestation of fire in the early stage. This stage is like the beginning of Krishna consciousness. The dust on the mirror refers to cleansing process of the mirror of the mind by many spiritual methods. So there are many spiritual methods. Best process though is to chant the Hare Krishna. So let's chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, like that. And also lust.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, we will chant at the end of the class, one full round, but that was just for one mantra. So lust burns like fire. This lust that we have is like fire. It will never be extinguished, right? So regardless of how much money we have, how much facilities we have, we want more. So it's just like fire. In the Manusmriti, it is said that lust cannot be satisfied by any amount of sense enjoyment. In the material world, the center of all activities is sex. And thus this material world is called Maithuna Agara. Maithuna means sex. Agara means a prison. So we are all prisoners because we like to have sex or the shackles of sex life. Therefore, But if that is keeping you shackled, means if it is keeping you trapped in the material world, how do you get out of the material world? We should eliminate sex. Initially reduce and gradually eliminate. In the ordinary prison house, criminals are kept within bars. Similarly, the criminals who are disobedient to the laws of the Lord are shackled by sex life. Advancement of material civilization on the basis of sense gratification means increasing the duration of material existence of a living entity. So the more we indulge in that activity, the more lifetimes we have to take birth. So somebody who's serious about getting out will gradually reduce it. It may not reduce in one day, but step by step, krama kramena, you reduce it. So again, hierarchy, some of you have seen this picture in the Bhagavad Gita, center of the Bhagavad Gita. Passenger is the soul, driver is intelligence, reins are the mind, and horses are our indriyas. They're always running. I want this, I want this, I want this. So this is one other artist's rendition of the same concept. Actually, Bhagavad Gita all comes down to this, right? Rajoguna, under Rajoguna, we commit mistakes. So get out of Rajoguna, come to Sattvaguna. And from Sattvaguna, go to Vishuddha Sattva. And that's it. You are ready for liberation. Very simple. Huh? Everything is in one sentence. But to do that, it will take an entire lifetime. It will take an entire lifetime. So mechanism of the mind. How does the mind work? Mind is the storehouse of thoughts, unfulfilled desires, and previous experiences. Right? So we have so many previous experiences in our last many, many lives. So this mind is a storehouse of that set of thoughts. And sometimes we may have unfulfilled desires from your last life. So two things may happen. Somebody who has unfulfilled desire may become a ghost, or they may take birth again. So if they become a ghost, what do? They try to do parakaya pravesham. Means they want to get into somebody else's body. You may think, this is my husband. So the body is of husband, but some other fellow is there in the body. And he is enjoying through that body. So it's very dangerous. That's why we have to always, pray to Lord Narasimha before going to sleep, chant Hare Krishna during the day, so that our body is not conquered or attacked by some other dangerous soul. So intelligence is the decision maker. It's just like that orchestrator picture in black and white on the left side. He will be moving his hands and all the musicians will be playing music. So intelligence is the decision maker. Do this now, do this now. And mind is the storehouse. It's just like RAM. And intelligence is like CPU of a computer. And all the senses are like IO. IO means like CD drive, USB drive. There's so many drives on your computer. If you don't remember, go after the class and look at your computer. You'll see so many IO devices on your computer. So it's very simple. If the intelligence, the CPU doesn't function very well, then IOs become useless. The mind becomes useless. Or sometimes the mind, the senses take over. They'll say, I will do whatever I want to do. Because the central orchestrator is not responding anymore like that.
Excuse me, 1 second.
Yeah.
Actually, this is like with the, we use the sense organs as the difference between consciousness and awareness, right? Because when we use our senses, there are some subconscious, superconscious, and something like that, right?
Yeah, no, that is
When
there.
we use
Actually, I
our
have a
senses-
presentation. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, when we use our senses, we are conscious at the time. But since we have to say, Krishna is saying we need to control our senses. Then if we're not conscious, then again our liberation, that is also a part of liberation, right? To be conscious or super conscious.
Yeah.
Or
So,
awareness.
so before the point of death, you should use your intelligence to control the mind and the mind to control the senses. After death, there is no question of the senses functioning, right? They're all dead.
Yeah.
So while we are alive,
is there a difference between senses and consciousness? Consciousness, like that.
Senses are like sensors, right? Like if you have a bunch of IoTs, you are in computers field. Do you work, Mataji?
No.
You don't work. Okay. So you have a bunch of sensors.
No.
But every robot has some sensors, like their senses to, touch, their senses to record audio. Those are like the senses. But still, you need a central mind to control the senses. And then you need some central processing, some intelligence to control the controllers, like the set of programs. Consciousness is even above this, right? I don't know if you attended my class on consciousness. I gave this class a few weeks ago. Here it is. So every question has an answer from Bhagavad Gita. So we analyzed the concept of consciousness through near-death experiences, through University of Virginia research, what happens at the point of death, how you can tap the spiritual, like Srinivasa Ramanujan, mathematician, and only certain aspects of the mind are result of physiological processes. Consciousness is causal and physical reality is its manifestation. So I have like a 80 slide deck on what consciousness is. And then we talked about how we ask a research question, hypothesis, experiment. That is the scientific method. But scientific method cannot give you complete knowledge. Therefore, we have to take shelter of the scriptures, which are documented by intelligent people before us. So it's not like they were foolish people. They were also intelligent. And they documented this knowledge so that we don't have to do the re-research.
So it should be above the intelligence. Consciousness is
It
more.
is above the intelligence. And consciousness is a manifestation of the soul. So whatever reality may be, it has to be non-local. Whatever reality, it has to be participatory. Whatever reality has to be conscious. Whatever reality, it is by design. There is an intelligent designer. Whatever reality may be, it's both describable and indescribable. Means achintya, bheda, abheda, tattva. Simultaneously understood and simultaneously confusing. So,
Prabhu, just to add, to reiterate your point previously that you said in the classes. So consciousness is the symptom of soul. That's what you mentioned. So which is like, if there is a soul, then there should be consciousness.
exactly. Once the soul leaves the body, there is no consciousness. But different people have attacked it from, biology perspective, cognitive psychology perspective, from artificial intelligence. So different people have approached this from different angles. But consciousness is who you are. Your body, your senses, your mind, intelligence, all these are external to your consciousness. Consciousness commands, it's a central command and control unit that controls all these other pieces. I mean, you are not the first to ask that question, Jayalakshmi. A lot of hundreds and thousands of researchers across the world are, as we speak, researching this topic. And this is from their research, basically, what I, put together here. So people are talking about the time-space continuum. What is the role of brain in the body? Neurophysiologist view, how the signals received from the heart are fed back into action and behavior. There's so much, right? We have to detect our heart's power and empowerment to bring the necessary intelligence. So the soul is there in the heart area. And as long as the soul is there, consciousness is there. The moment the soul leaves, consciousness also goes away. So they are like, tightly coupled, the consciousness and the soul. So we have not only 5 senses, there are 40,000 touch sensitive organs in a human body. Can you believe it? Like every part of our body is also sensing. 5 senses are the major senses, but there are lots of minor senses. For example, when you suddenly trip over a stone and you feel pain in your leg, right? So it is being sensed locally, actually. It is not being sensed in your brain. One nerve impulse is sent to the brain, but it is still being locally sensed. So yeah, I mean, we'll have to spend a whole lifetime understanding these things. I'm trying to give you everything in a capsule so that you have minimum knowledge to move forward. Otherwise, you'll be paralyzed, right? So there is a university research that's happening. What happens when we have thoughts? How the hydrogen and oxygen molecules are interacting in your body. There's so much going on, actually. How do you get healed? What is the process of healing? Healing is not a physical process. It's a consciousness-driven process. So there are 4 key emotions to help the heart: appreciation, care, compassion, and gratitude. So we need to have gratitude that we are receiving this fantastic knowledge. When you have gratitude, your antennas will be up. When somebody has no gratitude or challenging attitude, then the antennas are down, right? So this is a very, very subtle system. To understand this will take some time. So we have to appreciate our contributions of others. We have to take care of devotees. We have to show compassion to other souls. And we should have gratitude to our spiritual masters. Anyway, let's come back to the other deck. So this is the hierarchy. So this may answer your question, Rajalakshmi. So we have body, we have senses. Stronger than the senses is the mind. Stronger than the mind is intelligence. Stronger than the intelligence is ego. Stronger than the ego is the soul. And soul and consciousness are like brother and sister. They coexist. And after that, there is super soul, Paramatma. So there is a hierarchy. You cannot, looks like you dropped off, Rajalakshmi, when I was discussing this.
Yeah, by mistake I just got cut, the call gone.
Yeah, so don't touch your phone, just keep it on your table, because these touch sensitive devices, anything you touch, something will go wrong. I also
I
experienced.
was just unmuting it, so by mistake it got.
Yeah, so as I was saying, there is a hierarchy. There is body. Above the body, there are senses. But senses are attached to the body. Just like you have proteins attached to the coronavirus, you have senses attached to the body. This is a new analogy that I invented today. And then mind is above the senses, because mind is actually like a controller. It will say, do this, don't do this, like that. And intelligence is a decision maker. It will say, mind, looks like you are not going on the right path. Can you steer left? Go right, like that. And then the ego is even higher. And then soul is even higher. And super soul is the Paramatma, who is even higher than all of the millions and trillions of souls on this planet. So there is a certain hierarchy in everything. This is all scientific, actually. This is not like emotion. I'm not saying blindly follow Krishna. No, I'm giving you the complete hierarchy as given by Swami Prabhupada. Okay. And let's see what else we can cover on this topic, and then we'll go back to three modes. So, Srila Prabhupada's famous statement, the mind is not to be killed. Can you read this, Sarvana? Okay. Read this, Swati.
Okay. The mind is not to be killed. Mind or desire cannot be stopped, but to develop a desire to function for spiritual realization, the quality of engagement by the mind has to be changed. The mind is the pivot of the active sense organs, and as such, if the quality of thinking, feeling, and willing is changed, naturally the quality of actions by the instrumental senses will also change.
Yeah. So mind has three attributes: thinking, feeling, and willing. First, I think, oh, maybe I should skip Bhagavad Gita class today and go watch a movie. Then the mind will feel, "Arey, last time I watched a movie, it was such a pleasurable experience." Then you'll say, okay, I'll go to a movie. And then you'll realize that the movie is totally horrible. And then you wish that you were in the Bhagavad Gita class. So that's how it works. Thinking, feeling, and willing. So we have to steady the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence. See, there is this thing called the lust. So we have to cut it down by a strong intelligence and a strong mind. Rago ragatmaka viddhi trishna sanga samudbhavaha. It's a trishna. We'll We'll come to that verse right now in the chapter 14. So ragas means so many desires will come because of this illusory trishna. So we take illusion or association of the illusory trishna. We'll say, okay, maybe if I did this, I'll be happy. Maybe if I did this, I'll be happy. Like that. So that was one Sunday feast class. So in this way, I have many lectures that will talk about the three modes of material nature. So even in this article called Scientific Spirituality, we talked about the three modes of material nature. Let's see what we have there. So over a period of time, you should also learn to create presentations like this to convince your friends and family on what is the goal of life. So eating, sleeping, mating, defending, humans and animals do it together. So we have to do something special being human beings. So the person is different than the body part. Suppose if you have a CPU, right? If you have a motherboard in which there is CPU, there are so many other things, but then that is not the computer. That is not the intelligence in Microsoft Word. That comes from the software. So your mind and intelligence are like the software, body is like the hardware. So somewhere I have the three modes of material nature in this slide deck. Looks like I did a lot of work in the past. And did Rajulashmi, did you attend that seminar, the 4th session on financial management for devotees? Looks like you did not, so I will send you a link. Okay, let's come back to this one. So continue reading, whoever was reading.
I think they completed with the purport, Prabhu. You're explaining the purport of 17.
Did we finish that?
Yes, Prabhu. Maybe we need to go to next one.
Okay. So people have become irresponsible because people have no education in actual knowledge. So people are saying, oh, you can do anything. Anything goes. You don't have to worry about what happens after death. So to stop this irresponsibility, education for developing mode of goodness of people in general must be there. So that is what this education is. This session is about developing your mode of goodness. It's already there in you. We just have to bring it out. Educate, the Latin term means something which is there, it has to be brought out. So we bring it out in the audience like that. If a certain percentage of population develops Krishna consciousness and becomes situated in mode of goodness, then there is possibility for peace and prosperity all over the world. Right now, we don't have peace. We have prosperity, but we don't have peace. And also prosperity only for some people, right? People who are, a little smarter than the general audience. Some or the other, they cornered all the resources. Right now, we have 22 million people in America who are unemployed right now. And I was reading one article, one lady said, I don't know how I'll pay my May rent. I paid the April rent and that's it. I finished all my money. End of story. There is no jobs. I don't know how I'll pay my rent. And there could be some people, landlords may kick out their tenants and the tenants may be on the streets. More homelessness is coming. So a lot of problems. And why there is no peace? Because people are not in the mode of goodness. They think that when they have money, they'll just eat, drink, and be merry, not think about the goal of life. And that irresponsibility in material lifestyle will also carry over into spiritual area. So they don't know what to do with their material life. They have no clue about their spiritual life. So that is why knowledge like this is very important. So all of you should teach it to your friends and relatives. They will not be interested, but then that's the test of your sadhana, your test of your power and your determination. Okay. Repeat. Urdhvam gachanti sattvasta.
ऊर्ध्वं गच्छन्ति सत्रस्ताः
Madhye tishtanti rajasah.
Madhye tishtanti rajasa.
राजसः
Jaganya guna vrittistha.
Jaganya guna
Ado gachanti tamasah.
adho gachanti
तामसः
So those situated in the mode of goodness gradually go upward to higher planets. Those in the mode of passion live on earthly planets. And those in the abominable mode of ignorance go down to hellish planets. So there is this, let's see if it is there on the internet. I have it in my puja room. It's called the Goloka chart. It was developed by one of my god brothers in ISKCON Salem. So in the Goloka chart, this is by Gokul Chandra Prabhu, who is a disciple of Bhakti Vikas Maharaj. So he put together this chart, and in this chart, he discusses the various realms. Oh, this one is in Hindi. Wow. I never realized they have one in Hindi. Maybe this is in English. Let's see. Yeah, this is in English. So how do I enhance it? Maybe I have to copy it onto PowerPoint and then enhance it. Copy image. This is what I posted in my LinkedIn today. So every day I take one quote, I put some picture around it and post it in LinkedIn. There'll be one or two people who will look at it. That's a good start. So this is the material world called Devi Dham. Above that is Mahesh Dham, which is where Lord Shiva resides. And above that is Haridham, Vaikuntha, and above that there is Goloka Vrindavan, where Lord Krishna resides. So there is a structure behind this universe. And here in the material universe lies Garbhodakshay Vishnu. From his navel comes a stalk of lotus, and on top of the lotus flower, Brahma was born. So Garbhodakshay Vishnu doesn't need Lakshmi Devi to produce kids. He will just do it through his Kriya Shakti. So he will just think about it and it will happen. For the men on this call, without our wives, we cannot produce children. But that's not true with the Supreme Lord. He can think and produce. So Brahma is his Manasaputra. Manasaputra means with his manas, his mind, he produces his son. So Brahma is in Satyaloka. So there are different lokas, Tapaloka, Janaloka, Maharloka, Ityadi, and Bhuvarloka, Swargaloka, Bhuvarloka, and Bhuloka. And below that, there are these various lokas. So the Western science still doesn't even know what these lokas are or how they manifest. So there is a long way to go for them to come to that platform. So where is my window? Oh, it's on the Goloka chart itself. Okay. So those situated in the mode of goodness gradually go upwards. Upwards means they'll go in too many windows. Yeah. So they go up here, right? So they go to Bhuvarloka, Swargaloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Maharloka, and finally Satyaloka. And those who are in the mode of passion come back to Bhuloka. So we all died in mode of passion last lifetime, so we are here. And those who perform lot of sin, Papa, they'll go down. Means go to hellish worlds. And those in the abominable mode of ignorance go down to hellish worlds. This is very scary, right? And then once I was telling somebody this thing, they said, yeah, it's okay, we'll go to hell. If somebody has that attitude, right, what can you do? Can you help them? You cannot. That's the challenge. Okay. So, Raju Lakshmi, can you read this?
Yeah. In this verse, the results of actions in the three modes of nature are more explicitly set forth. There is an upper planetary system consisting of the heavenly planets, where everyone is highly elevated. According to the degree of development of the mode of goodness, the living entity can be transferred to various planets in this system. The highest planet is Satyaloka or Brahmaloka, where the prime person of this universe, Lord Brahma, resides. We have seen already that we can hardly calculate the wondrous condition of life in Brahmaloka, but the highest condition of life, the mode of goodness, can bring us to this. The mode of passion is mixed. It is in the middle between the mode of goodness and ignorance. A person is not always pure, but even if he should be purely in the mode of passion, he will simply remain on this earth as a king or a rich man. But because there are mixtures, one can also go down. People on this earth, the mode of passion or ignorance, cannot forcibly approach the higher planets by machine. In the mode of passion, there is also the chance of becoming mad in the next life. The lowest quality, the mode of ignorance, is described here as abominable. The result of developing ignorance is very, very risky. It is the lowest quality in material nature. Beneath the human level, there are 8 million species of life, birds, beasts, reptiles, trees, etc. And according to the development of the mode of ignorance, people are brought down to these abominable conditions. The word tamasa is very significant here. Tamasa indicates those who stay continuously in the mode of ignorance without rising to a higher mode. Their future is very dark. There is an opportunity for men in the modes of ignorance and passion to be elevated to the mode of goodness, and that system is called Krishna consciousness. But one who does not take advantage of this opportunity will certainly continue in the lower modes.
Yeah, so this is like a wake-up call for all of us. There is an opportunity. This is an equal opportunity employer. In the modes of ignorance and passion to be elevated to mode of goodness. So it doesn't matter where you are right now. You have an opportunity to come to mode of goodness. And that system is called Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness means hearing Bhagavad Gita, what you're doing right now, chanting the holy name every day, the Hare Krishna mantra, a set of rounds, then associating with devotees, like we are all associating with each other on this call, and then many other activities like deity worship, archanam, vandanam, dasyam, becoming a servant of the Lord, working for the Lord all the time, 24/7. We are also working, but maybe once a week. That is not sufficient. We have to do a lot more. And then it will happen. But one who does not take advantage of this opportunity will certainly continue in the lower modes. So how long do you want to continue in the lower modes? That's the question you have to ask yourself. How long do I want to continue? At some point, I want to get out of this material world. You cannot say, I don't have time. If you don't have time right now, will you have time in your next life? As Kali Yuga progresses, there will be more and more diseases. Right now, we only have corona. There could be 2 or 3 things concurrently happening, like it happened to people in Alabama and Mississippi and Georgia. On one hand, there was corona, and the other hand, there was a hurricane. And some people's, the buildings got destroyed, the roofs got broken. So now they are roofless. So they are, one hand, they are wearing masks to save themselves from corona. And then on the other hand, they don't have a proper house to live in. So yeah, as Kali Yuga progresses, there will be more and more challenges. If you say this is tough, just wait. When you come back next lifetime, it will be more tough. So Srila Prabhupada said, better to finish this business in this lifetime itself. Become pure, and then get liberated in this lifetime. Because next lifetime, it will be more difficult actually. It will be a big challenge. Nanyam
Nanyam
Gunebhyah
Gunebhyah
Kartaram
Kartaram
Yada
Yada
Drashtanupashyati
Drashtana Pashyati
Gunebhyascha
Gunebhyascha
Param Veti
Param Veti
Madbhavam
Madbhavam
So Adhigacchati.
So Adhigacchati.
When one properly sees in all activities no other performer is at work than these modes of nature, so one should be firmly convinced. I only see Krishna's role in this activity, the Lord's activity, through the modes of nature. Then he knows the Supreme Lord, right? So Krishna's energies, these three modes, are running the show. He's not directly running. He has better things to do. He has to play. He has to tease the gopis. He's not like full of stress, like Sudhakar at Microsoft. Array, what happens if this program doesn't work? Stress free. Because he has his energies doing his job. So he knows the Supreme Lord. Such a person who sees that all activities is no other performer other than these modes of nature. And such a person, what will he do? He will attain to the spiritual nature of the Lord. Such a person will attain to spiritual nature of the Lord. Okay. Sarvana, can you read the purport?
Sure. Purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. One can transcend all the activities of the modes of material nature simply by understanding them properly by learning from the proper souls. The real spiritual master is Krishna, and he is imparting this spiritual knowledge to Arjuna. Similarly, it is from those who are fully in Krishna consciousness that one has to learn the science of activities in terms of the modes of nature. Otherwise, one's life will be misdirected. By the instruction of a bona fide spiritual master, a living entity can know of his spiritual position, his material body, his senses, how he is entrapped, and how he is under the spell of the material modes of nature. He is helpless, being in the grip of these modes. But when he can see his real position, then he can attain to the transcendental platform, having the scope for spiritual life. Actually, the living entity is not the performer of different activities. He is forced to act because he is situated in a particular type of body, conducted by some particular mode of material nature. Unless one has the help of spiritual authority, he cannot understand in what position he is actually situated. With the association of a bona fide spiritual master, he can see his real position, and by such an understanding, he can become fixed in full Krishna consciousness. A man in Krishna consciousness is not controlled by the spell of the material modes of nature. It has already been stated in the 7th chapter that one who has surrendered to Krishna is relieved from the activities of material nature. For one who is able to see things as they are, the influence of material nature gradually ceases.
So material nature is very strong. Daiviyesha gunamayi mama maya durataya. However, if you are able to connect with Krishna, then material nature will gradually stop working. Mamevayatse satyam te pratidani priyosime. Like that. So, this material nature is very strong. These three modes are like three ropes that are tying you. How do you get out of these three ropes? Your hands are not free. You cannot help yourself. So you need somebody else to come and untie you. That somebody else is called the spiritual master. So right now I am functioning as your Shiksha Guru, giving you the knowledge. But at some point you have to take Diksha, and Diksha means initiation. And at the point of Diksha, your karma will be taken over by the spiritual master, and he will clear the path for you to make rapid progress. Like when I got initiated I felt like I felt very light because all the past karma has been burnt in the fire of the initiation. So that's why I stress on initiation a lot, or taking shelter of a spiritual master, as Prabhupada says, right? By the instruction of a bona fide spiritual master, a living entity can know of his spiritual position, his material body, his senses, how he is entrapped. So you are trapped in this body, get out, the spiritual master will say. And how he is under the spell of the material modes of nature. He is helpless being in the grip of these modes. Right? So therefore, we have to all take shelter of the shelter, as in like the formal shelter, by taking Diksha, so that we can further progress in Krishna consciousness. And also, when you take shelter of a spiritual master, you should have direct access. It's not like, oh, I'll have to go through his secretary, this, that, it doesn't work. So you have to basically take shelter of a spiritual master to whom you have direct access. Like one of my friend was saying, to go to his spiritual master, he has to go through one of the brahmacharis. And to go to the brahmachari has an assistant. So first he has to explain the problem to the brahmachari's assistant. Then the brahmachari's assistant will go and communicate it to the brahmachari. And the brahmachari will see if he can answer the question. If not, he'll say, okay, I'll get you an appointment. And in Hyderabad ISKCON temple, to get appointment with the top boss, it takes 2 months. In the meantime, two things would have happened. Your problem has automatically resolved yourself, or you are struggling with that problem, right? So having direct access is very important. Like for example, some people have taken shelter of Harulas Maharaj in Seattle. They have direct access. They can, either pick up the phone and say, this is my problem, or meet him. So Maharaj will say, okay, and I don't have time now, but come tomorrow, something like that. So the direct access is important. In my case, I write an email to my spiritual master. Within 24 hours, I get a reply. So there has to be that direct access. If you have too many filters, right, then your problem will be lost. So, you have to be careful in how you basically interact with your spiritual master. And if he's even available, like some of the Maharajas in ISKCON have 60,000 disciples. How are you going to get a response from 60,000? Like, will the Maharaj even remember 60,000 names? Think about it. It's totally unfair to expect that the spiritual master will remember 60,000 names. Like I know, what's the Maharaj in Mayapur? The famous Maharaj. Forgetting his name now.
Gopal Krishna Goswami.
No. Gopal Krishna Goswami is not in Mayapur. He is from Vrindavan. He manages that temple.
Jayapatak Swami.
Oh, Jayapatak Swami. One time he gave initiation to 1,600 people in a Pandal program. Right? How do you, so he will take a mic and then his assistant will bring him a sheet. He'll say, okay, next, you come forward. I'll give you the mala. Morning till evening, the program is going on. Your name is Achinchana Krishna Das. Your name is, Radhika Raman Das. Like that. He'll continuously read. It's very difficult for him to give individual guidance like that. Right? There's so many Bada Maharajas in ISKCON, like when Bhakti Tirtha Swami passed away, all his disciples came under Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Now he has 15,000 disciples. Do you think, can you remember 15,000 names? Anybody on this call? It's very difficult, right? So it's having, at least I personally feel having direct access is very important, because if you have a problem, you should be able to get a resolution, right? It's not like you can wait for 2 months to go through the bureaucracy. That is my position. Different people have different perspective, and also you have to see your propensity also, right? So for example, my son Hari is playing Mridanga, for example, right? So he's more into kirtans. So somebody who can guide him in that kirtan process is probably more conducive, right? Or different people, right? Different people have different propensities. Somebody may be into deity worship. They love deity worship. So their propensity is suited to certain spiritual master, right? Certain spiritual masters say, now you have to go out and preach, travel. Like my spiritual master is one of them. He says you have to preach. That's why I do class Friday evening, Saturday evening, and Sunday afternoon. because he says, I don't want you to be just like a Brahmana going onto the altar and just doing deity worship. I want you to be in the forefront of doing certain things. So different spiritual masters have different propensities. Like Gopal Krishna Maharaj is heavy into deity worship, right? And then certain spiritual masters, they'll give like pretty big instructions. Okay, Mr. X, Y, and Z Das, you go to Ujjain and help the temple there. I want to see progress there. Right now that temple is stalled. Like Tamal Krishna Maharaj was asked by Swami Prabhupada, you go to China and preach. And you know what Tamal Krishna said? Tamal Krishna Maharaj, but I don't know Chinese, Prabhupada. That's okay, you will learn. You go. So he was given a one-way ticket to go to China. Right? And when Tamal Krishna Maharaj became senior in ISKCON, he was in Paris temple. And then Srila Prabhupada was constructing the Krishna Balram Mandir in Vrindavan. And then Harulas Maharaj was a brahmachari there. Right? And I think he was a brahmachari or he just became Grihastha, one of the two. So Tamal Krishna Maharaj was called by Prabhupada. I have problems here with these gundas in Vrindavan, right? Uttar Pradesh, all gundas, land gundas. So in India, if you take one land, they will sell it to three parties. Same thing happened with our Vrindavan property and with our Juhu property in Bombay. Mr. Nair sold the same property to three people. And then, everybody is saying this land is mine. So Srila Prabhupada said, okay. There was one Sethi. Sethi was like a muscular Punjabi guy, tall guy. He said, Sethi, you have a gun? Yes. Okay, Sethi, you go with your gun, sit in the property in the night. If anybody comes, just shoot. And then he started construction of the temple in the night. So in India, there is one law. If you construct a temple, nobody can break it. That is Krishna's property, like God's property now. Nobody can break it. At least that's a good law. In other parts of the world, they don't care. They'll just demolish the structure. So overnight, they put all the bricks and said, okay, temple is ready, sir. Now this is our property. Anyway, we paid for it, but now temple is also ready. According to Indian law, you cannot destroy the temple.
And excuse, 1 second. To serve the guru, no, like it means like physical service, like physical service to guru is necessary.
Yes,
or,
it is necessary, right? For example, I went along with my spiritual master. I took office off for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, I think. And then I accompanied him when he went to Slovenia, Croatia, London, not London, sorry, what is that? Russia, sorry, it was not London. So Moscow and then Nizhny Novgorod. So we went to 4 cities. I accompanied him and I was washing his dhotis. I was serving him food and I got into trouble also because sometimes I would not follow the proper protocol. So he would not be very happy with me. Physical service is necessary. Similarly, when we went to Silicon Valley to serve him once when he was here, my wife took on the duty of for 2 days, breakfast, lunch and dinner, cooking for the spiritual master, like that. So different people will do according to their capacity, right? Not everybody is on the same level. So, but physical service you won't get. Sometimes you won't get. There is like a waiting list. So you have to get onto that waiting list. I was very fortunate. I got onto that and I was able to physically serve him. But the point I was trying to make is when Tamal Krishna Maharaj was called in Vrindavan to solve this Gunda issue, Tamal Krishna Maharaj said to our temple leader, Harulas Prabhu, who was, I think, basically a brahmachari or new grihastha, you are the next temple president. That's it. Overnight, he became the temple president and he had to run the show. So some spiritual masters will give very heavy instruction, like Tamal Krishna Maharaj was one of them. Okay, now tomorrow you are the temple president, run the show. So it can be very intense like that, or it could be very simple. Like for some of them, the instruction could be, okay, just chant your rounds, follow the regulative principles, and once a year go to Vrindavan, something as light as that. So it depends. It depends on the guru also. So my point is, everybody has to be initiated and they have to choose a spiritual master aligned with their propensity so that they don't, and the spiritual master may say, do X. And you may say, I like Y, Guru Maharaj, I don't like X. whatever that X could be, right? For example, you may not want to go to China to preach. I don't think anybody wants to go now with Wuhan.
But I just want to know about, like, there's one Swami in Dallas, Texas. The Swami Mukundananda. If you know him, I just
Yeah,
want to
but
ask him. Does
Mukundananda
he
is
come
not in
under
our
the chain
parampara.
of command?
No, he's not in our parampara. He's in the Shankara Sampradaya. Shankara Sampradaya is very different. They think of God as not a person, right? So it is called Mayavadam. Mayavadam means,
But he's talking about Krishna and all that only.
yeah, they may talk about Krishna, but as far as I remember, Mukundananda doesn't fall in this parampara. And the reason I say that is, both of them are in this overall blanket in the Vedic system. Both of them follow these regulative principles like no eating meat, no alcohol. But where the distinction comes is they follow the Brahman conception.
Prabhu, a little. Can I add something, Prabhu, on this?
Yes. You are there in Dallas,
Yeah.
right? We can tell.
So I have visited the temple once here. So
Hmm.
he also talks about Krishna, but then the problem is he is following a guru, but then that guru doesn't have any kind of disciplic succession. So all of a sudden he came, and then so I was reading his history. All of a sudden he came, and then he has his disciple called Swami Mukundananda.
Hmm.
And what I read from internet was he went to Mayapur, and then he claimed as one of the incarnations, and there was some kind of issue with ISKCON.
Oh, okay.
And sure, so all these things happen. So though they follow Krishna, but there is no disciplic succession.
Yeah, if without disciplic succession, you remember Rajalakshmi, we discussed yesterday, you were there in the class, Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayu viduhu. If there is no parampara, then it is a challenge. Evam parampara praptam, on your screen, you can look at it. Imam rajarshayu viduhu, sakaleneha mahata, yogo nashta parantapa. So if there is no chain of command, if there is no linkage to Big Boss Krishna, then your efforts may not be recognized, right? So remember we talked, Krishna gave this knowledge to Brahma, Brahma gave it to Narada, Narada gave it to Vyasa. In this way, this came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who gave it to Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. And then finally, it came to Swami Prabhupada. So if somebody is not in the parampara, right? If somebody magically appears, he may have gone to Himalayas, done 3 years tapas, and suddenly claims that I am so-and-so guru. Then you have to say, where is your parampara? So that is the challenge. So thank you, Sarvana, for that key point. I did not know that.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, for a neophyte, it looks everything similar, and they also have those morning prayers and all those things. So there will be some kind of missing link.
Yes, missing link is no link. If you are missing, right? So which means that they have already concocted their own process of worship. So we don't concoct. We follow whatever Narada Muni says. And Narada Muni came millions of years ago, right? So it is what it is. We have to follow parampara. Otherwise, the result may or may not be there. More likely, it won't be there. Just like, right, if you are making some sabji and your mother taught one way to do it, her mother taught your mother, and all of a sudden, if you say, instead of putting 1 spoon of chili powder, I'll put 7 spoons of chili powder because this new guru told me, because my neighbor Mataji told me to put 7. Can you eat it? You cannot eat it. So there's always safety. There is a safety net in the parampara. Otherwise, we'll be stuck. At least, I want to be safe. I don't know about others. So I want to be in a parampara which will protect me. And actually, Adi Shankaracharya said, Bhajagovindam, 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 Budamate. That's what M.S. Subbalakshmi sang, right? Shankaracharya's that song. But all his disciples say, you don't need Govinda that much. You yourself can become God, like that. So that is where the deviation occurred. Have you heard this, Rajalakshmi, M.S. Subbalakshmi's song?
Yeah, yes, I heard.
You heard,
Yeah,
right?
I
Yeah.
heard it.
If not, go and hear it one more time, and then you'll come to these conclusions.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. I just want to know about your guru actually. May I know who is your Diksha guru?
My Diksha Guru is this gentleman here. He's from Ireland originally, United Kingdom. He moved to Salem, Tamil Nadu, and then he started preaching there. He has a big rock temple in Salem, Tamil Nadu, just like the Chola time. And what he does is he preaches. I don't know if it's consalem.com or whatever. So he
And
preaches.
you also told someone is in Seattle, someone.
Yeah, Seattle is Harulas Maharaj is the local guru here. And he started initiating only about a year ago. He has about 12 or 15 disciples.
Okay.
So there are various gurus, right? There are 80 gurus initiated by Srila Prabhupada. So any one of them can give you initiation. This is interesting. I never noticed this site. Actually,
What is the name of the guru in Seattle? Can you tell me the name of the guru?
Harivilas Maharaj. Like I'll show you his picture
Okay.
on the internet. Harivilas Prabhu. He used to be called Harivilas Prabhu, but recently became a guru. So this is him. He is giving a kids class in the temple in the morning every day. So this is the recording. You can hear this recording. Sorry, others, I'm deviating a little bit, but hopefully you can let me go forward.
The Puranas, we can compare the intelligence of the Lord to those of the scientists. So here, that's what he does here. He says, by this, by the supreme will of the Lord, many great planets float weightlessly in space like swabs of cotton. So if you get a swab of cotton, if it's a windy day, you throw it up and it'll go up and stay, floating in the wind because cotton is very light. If this is possible, if the Lord did this, I mean, human beings didn't put up the mountain, the earth and the planets and the stars and everything in space. They were already there. And they're being maintained in perfect movements. So if this is possible, why should great mountain peaks not be able to float on water? So there's another example why the Vanas, they wrote the name of Rama on every rock, and by the mercy of the Lord, those gigantic boulders floated.
So Rajalakshmi, are you on WhatsApp?
Yes.
Okay. I'll send you this link after the class to you on the Friday WhatsApp, and then you can, Jaypal added you to Friday, right? So you can listen to this class at your leisure.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying association of a bona fide spiritual master is really important, because they can monitor your progress, right? Like, just like, if you join a football team, you need a coach. Can you please go on mute, whoever is not speaking? Everybody go on mute, please. Yeah. With the association of bona fide spiritual master, he can see his real position. So spiritual master will tell you, you are such and such, and now your goal is to actually progress towards Krishna. So we all have material coaches. Now we now need a spiritual coach who can coach us on a daily basis, actually. Just like as I said, if I send an email, I get a response in 24 hours. Similarly, if you talk to Harulas Maharaj, and I talk to him almost every other day on phone, I don't take too much of his time. I say, sorry to disturb you, Maharaj, I have this question. And he'll say, oh, that's no problem. And he'll give me an answer in like 30 seconds or 1 minute. And then say, okay, thank you. Because I have to be respectful of his time. And then I will move on. Like that. So you need access so that if you are making mistake, he can correct you. So any questions on this one? This is very important because this actually talks about how we are struggling under these gunas, gunebhyascha, and how a guru can direct us in that particular direction. Like, by the way, when I first came to Krishna consciousness, within 6 months I was convinced. And I was thinking, okay, I'll take initiation. But then people told me, Arey Baba, wait, why are you in such a hurry? Give yourself some time. And then 3 years later, I got initiated. So you should all be eager. You should think, tomorrow if Corona hits me, I may die. So I have to be initiated before death. Like, did I tell you this? I went to the Pleasanton, California, Hindu Shiva Vishnu temple. There is a Shiva Vishnu temple in Pleasanton, California, near San Jose, the Silicon Valley. So I went there and I gave them whatever, $20 or $25 for Archana. And they said, tell me your Gotra. I said, Achyuta Gotra. And the Pujari looked at me top to bottom. He said, you are Achyuta Gotra? You're in Krishna's Gotra? I said, yes, because I am. As when I get initiated, I come into Krishna's Gotra. Then he did, Archana on my name, Radhika Gopinath Das, Achyuta Gotra Bhavasya. And then he did the whole puja, right? So isn't this a great blessing to be in Krishna's Gotra? Like right now, I am not in my parents' Gotra. I am in Krishna's Gotra. Tomorrow, if my mother takes initiation, she'll also come into Krishna's Gotra. My father passed away, so there is no scope now. But if I am a good devotee, right, I can liberate 7 generations. So my father, his father, 7 generations, they are all like, I was at a funeral in Vijayawada. You know where Vijayawada is? Vijayawada is in Andhra Pradesh. So there, I was talking, and the Pujari, he was reciting some mantras. I asked him, what is the meaning of this? He said, the forefathers of this dead man are all waiting in hell so that somebody, one good person will come in the parampara, in their family, to liberate them from hellish life. So if we become Krishna conscious seriously and surrender to Krishna and get liberated, not only we, but 7 generations before us will also get liberated. So you are helping all your forefathers by surrendering to Krishna. So that's very important. So there is only profit in this business. There is no loss in Krishna consciousness. Whereas in a material business, you invest $100,000, you may make $1 million or you may lose the entire 100,000. Here, everything you invest has fruit, result. And result is not material, spiritual result.
But if you are in a different Gotram and if you get initiated, then we'll be transformed into a Krishna Gotram.
Yes, that's exactly what I said. You'll come into Achyuta Gotram. Did you hear that, Nada Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So think about how much blessing it is to come into direct Krishna's family. It's a great, and then wherever you go, you'll be treated as Krishna's family. Like Harivilas Maharaj, when he went to Tirupati, they said, oh, you are a guru in ISKCON. You know what they did? They skipped the entire line and they took him directly to Garbhagudi. Direct. Whereas everybody else who goes has to wait for 4 hours, 6 hours in that waiting room before. And then for how long will you take darshan? 3 seconds, 2 seconds? The pujari will push you or the volunteers will push you, right? So that is the blessing. Like once we are in Krishna's Gotra, royal treatment. Of course, we don't do it for royal treatment. We do it to please Krishna, but it happens actually. This is amazing. I'll tell you a story. Please go on mute, please. I can hear kids. So I was in Chilkur Balaji temple. This is in outskirts of Hyderabad. You have to go. You have been there, Sudhakar?
Yes, Prabhu, he went.
Yeah, you went, right? Yeah. You have been there, Sarvana?
No, Prabhu. I have.
Okay, next time you go to India, go to Chilkur Balaji. He's called Visa Balaji because people go there before coming to America. They go there, they pray, and most people apparently get visas. I didn't do that.
Prabhu, there is a Visa Balaji in every city, Prabhu. Even in Chennai, there is one.
But this Visa Balaji is very famous. First, he became famous, Prabhu.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was in kurta and dhoti, and I was having this ISKCON tilak. Immediately, the pujari stopped me, and he said, "Here is a devotee from ISKCON. Srila Prabhupada went to America, and he preached world over the science of Krishna consciousness." And I was shocked. I'm just like a normal person, and just looking at me, he was praising Srila Prabhupada. Right? So you get royal treatment everywhere because we are in this parampara. Of course, we don't do it for the treatment, but we do it for pleasing Krishna. So everybody get initiated as soon as possible because time is running out. Who knows? Right now, did you hear that news? I heard this news that now Corona came back again in South Korea. It's on my LinkedIn. I pushed a paper today. This was in Wall Street Journal. And Corona death rate is 2 to 3%. So guaranteed 2 to 3% people will die. You see this? I wrote, this stubborn virus is making everyone dance. Dance in Maya. Maya is like a reflection or Satan or devil or exterior energy of Lord Krishna, or dance in front of Krishna in a temple. Would it not be better to dance in front of Lord Krishna in his temple rather than dance to tunes of Corona? Ironically, mainstream Hindus do not dance in front of deities, while Christians routinely dance and sing in front of the Lord. You see this? American nurses, you'll see simple mask. Here, these people are having oxygen cylinders and full body mask. That's why American nurses are dying faster. And then Korean nurses, I don't think anybody died. And only like 260 deaths. America and Korea got Corona on the same day, believe it or not. Korea controlled it fully. America, we are miserable failures. 30,000 people died. So each one of us should be ashamed of ourselves because we live in this country and we couldn't control Corona. Yeah, but tomorrow say Corona resurfaces here in Seattle area. And God forbid, what will happen? We might die. So before that happens, we have to take shelter of Krishna. Okay. Let's read the purport, translation. When one properly sees that in all activities no other performer is at work than these modes, he knows that Supreme Lord who is transcendental to all these modes, he attains my spiritual nature. So we read the purport, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Gunanetan
Gunanetam
Atityatrin
Adityatrin
Dehi Deha
Dehi Deha
Samudbhavan
Samudbhavan
Janma Mrityu
Janma Mrityu
Jara Dukkher
Jara Dukhe
Vimukto Amritam
Vimuktomritam
Ashnute.
Ashnate.
See, we have these problems. Janma, when we take birth. Mrityu, when we die. Jara, old age, that leads to Mrityu. These are the dukkhas, Krishna is saying. And in 13th chapter, he also mentioned this. Anybody remember? Sarvana, do you remember 13th chapter where he says that?
No problem.
Swati, you remember?
No, Prabhu.
Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam, is that this?
Yeah, Janma Mrityu, Jara Vyadi, Dukkha Doshanu Anudarshanam. Yeah, he says this before also. So when the embodied being is able to transcend these modes associated within the material body, he can become free from birth, death, old age, and their distresses and can enjoy nectar even in this life. Okay, who wants to read? Vijay Mataji, you want to read?
Can I read?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
How one can stay in the transcendental position even in this body in full Krishna consciousness is explained in this verse. The Sanskrit word dehi means embodied, although one is within this material body. By his advancement in spiritual knowledge, he can be free from the influence of the modes of nature. He can enjoy the happiness of spiritual life even in this body, because after leaving this body, he is certainly going to the spiritual sky. But even in this body, he can enjoy spiritual happiness. In other words, devotional service in Krishna consciousness is the sign of liberation from material entanglement, and this will be explained in the 18th chapter. When one is freed from the influence of the modes of material nature, he enters into devotional service.
Yeah. So when do we enter into devotional service or seva of the Lord? When one is freed from the influence of modes of material nature. So our entire life is basically getting free out of these modes of material nature. Even your past karma cannot stop you, because past karma just puts you some roadblocks. But if you are determined, you can overcome the past karma, keep on moving. And then we can enter into devotional seva. So it's not like after liberation, we'll do something different. Here in this planet, we'll do seva. And once we are liberated, we'll again do seva to the Supreme Lord in the abode, spiritual abode. The picture that I showed, right? Where is the picture? Maybe it was in this window and I have to go back. The picture went away. Goloka chart. Oh no, I put it on PowerPoint, right? So I can do it from here. Yeah. So this is the spiritual world. So if you see, everything is in symmetry. There are always 4 sides for the spiritual world, 4 sides for the Haridama Vaikunta. And then there is a oval shape. This is actually slight misrepresentation. Actually, the Brahmanda is oval. They are not circular. According to, that's why it's called Brahma. And Anda means egg, and egg is usually oval. It's not round. So from here, we are trapped in this material world. We can go to either Vaikunta or we can go to the spiritual world, Goloka, Vrindavan.
Is Brahmalok the same as Vaikuntha?
No, Brahmaloka is in material world, right?
Oh, Brahmaloka.
Brahmaloka is still material world.
So, but if you are in the mode of goodness, we can reach the Brahmaloka.
Yeah,
Means
if you are in the mode of goodness, you will reach Brahmaloka eventually, but there is a step-by-step process, right? First, you'll go to Bhuvarloka or directly to Swargaloka. From there, Tapaloka, Janaloka, Maharloka, finally Brahmaloka. The sequence, don't worry about the sequence. There is no science on that. If you are a pure devotee, you can jump to Brahmaloka in one shot. Or if you have still some material desires, you may end up in Swargaloka, because Swargaloka is a place where you can fulfill your material desires. For example, if you wanted a 7-bedroom home and your husband did not buy it for you, so you may go to Swarga for some time, enjoy your 7-bedroom home, and then you'll go further. So
this earth is actually the Devi Loka.
Yeah, earth is called Devi Dham.
Okay.
That's why there is a verse in Brahma Samhita which says Devi Mahesha Haridam Shuteshu Teshu. So from Devi Dham to Mahesh Dham to Mahesh Dham to Haridam, and from Haridam you can go to Goloka Vrindavan. So there is no perfect science on whether you will take all the steps. If Krishna wants you, right, he can take you directly. But then he should want to take us, right? So what is so special about us? Are we so great? So more likely we'll go step-by-step process. But if he wants to, in one shot, he can take us. That's his power. Okay, let's chant now. That's all theory, but practice is more important. Sri Krishna Chaitanya
Nityananda,
Prabhu
Sri Advaita,
Nityananda, step by step. Sri Advaita,
Sri Advaita,
Gadadhara,
Dadadara,
Shrivasadi,
Srivasadi,
Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Now let's chant together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare,